Welcome to Tourism Talk. I'm your host, Mary Hammond, Director of the Paducah Convention and Visitors Bureau. My guest today is David Boggs, Special Events Coordinator for Paducah Main Street. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Good. Oh, good. David, seems like you're involved in all of the fun activities in downtown.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's an enjoyable job. There's a lot of fun things going on downtown.
Well, and so many of these activities you took part in as a volunteer for years, and here you are working at Main Street.
Right.
What a good team you have. And the next thing on the agenda, it's September, fall's around the corner, must be time for a barbecue.
Barbecue on the River, 13th ever barbecue on the river.
13 years, it's going to be a lucky year, not unlucky.
You're right.
A good lucky year. Every year is better.
We build on it every year. More money's raised, more food served, entertainment gets bigger and better, so we can only look for bigger and better things.
This is one event that I think the entire community takes a lot of pride in. And you know, everyone's barbecue is different. And we all pride ourselves on our own barbecue. And everybody belongs to an organization or a church or have a nonprofit that's special to them. And everybody tries to influence the barbecue that their group is making and cooking. And I love that. It makes for an awful lot of fun.
It does, and it's not just about the barbecue. Some of the charities have got that dessert item or that side item that they've made their own. They've given it their special little twist, whether it's a hot fudge sundae or a strawberry shortcake, and they've made it their own, and that's what they've become known for at Barbecue on the River, and that's another thing that people will come down there for.
Well, this was a long time coming. I remember when Mimi Wiley always wanted us to have a barbecue festival because Western Kentucky barbecue is so different from other places. No barbecue sauce to lick off of your fingers, but that's okay. If it does, it'll clear your sinuses, right? So here we have got one. I remember Susie Daher and Rome Morris talking about it, and here next thing you know, they're bringing their dream come true down at Paducah's riverfront with barbecue on the river.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing. Just I've probably been involved for 8 to 9 years. 6 or 7 as a volunteer, and then 3 is the promotion events coordinator for Main Street, which kind of hosts and organizes that event. And it's just amazing to see the growth that event has taken in relatively 13 short years.
We get calls every month of the year at the Visitors Bureau. People wanting to know about barbecue. When is it? Can I get a space? How do I get to be a part of it? I have friends coming. I'm planning a reunion.
Right.
And it's really become a time of homecoming for Paducah.
It is. It really is.
Well, let's get right to this date. For this year, it's now 3 days. No more just on a Saturday, but it's gone to 3 days.
Right.
And this year, September 27th, 28th, and 29th.
That's correct.
But you know, downtown starts bustling at the beginning of the week on Monday.
You'll see some of the barbecue contestants start building their booths probably on Sunday afternoon. So you'll definitely start knowing barbecues there that Sunday.
I'd say many of those displays and cookers have been in the planning and practicing just all summer.
All summer long.
So I think so. It'll be great. Well, let's just sort of start at the beginning. We've got the dates. It's even though they start setting up early in the week, it'll be Thursday. What time will it kick off?
We advertise that food will start being served at noon. Of course, if barbecue's ready before that, those folks are going to sell it as soon as it's ready because that's the best time to get the barbecue. And then the Symphony Beer Garden will open at 5 o'clock, I believe, on Thursday afternoon. The same schedule on Friday is what we advertise, but of course we know people, once you get that barbecue smoke in the air and that woodsy smell in the air, you're going to be selling a little bit earlier because people are wanting that barbecue as soon as they start that smell. Then on Saturday, it's from about 10 o'clock in the morning, and we say until the barbecue runs out, which, knock on wood, we've never had anybody say they left barbecue without getting the taste of some good ribs or shoulder.
There are always a few that have been barbecuers who have been around since the beginning, who've really made a name for themselves, that do sell out early.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't be discouraged, and it also kind of puts you in a mode to try other barbecue and just to see how different they are.
Right, because everybody has their own little different twist. Some people may use a specific wood, some people may soak their wood, in a different liquid to give it that smoky flavor. Nobody's barbecue tastes the same.
No, not at all. So if you're coming down even on Thursday, it's already going to be busy because some are streets blocked off?
Yes, streets will start being blocked off on Wednesday. In the Paducah Sun on the Sunday before barbecue, there'll be a map that'll be inserted into the paper. Street closings will be listed on that map. as far as when and where and that sort of thing. So that's the best place to look for that.
Can you go to the website?
Street closings are not on the website. The Paducah Sun will be the best place. If not, give
Okay.
our office a call and we can go through some of
Okay.
that.
And we'll get those numbers for you up here on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So as you'll come down Broadway. What about parking?
Parking, there's going to be parking in any of the city municipal lots.
Right.
There'll be parking behind the Four Rivers Center. There'll be parking in some of the bank parking lots on Saturday or after the banks
After they're
close
closed,
on Thursday and Friday.
So basically, when you're coming down, no matter what street you're taking into town, as soon as you see a spot, pull
get
in.
it.
Get
You
it,
get
get it, and just get some exercise to
And
get those steps in.
I would probably come down Jefferson or Kentucky, make the trip down Jefferson or Kentucky to get there. Broadway is the one that's going to close earlier than all the rest.
Sure, sure. Well, just get your spot, walk on over there because you're sure to eat too much anyway, so you just need to get the exercise.
And get the exercise.
Because not only is there barbecue, but it's all those other goodies that we associate with this. You've got everything from the funnel cakes and the corn and the strawberry shortcakes and, oh gosh, let's see. What are some of those different
There's
things?
a plethora of fair foods. You've got snow cones. You've got folks are going to be selling Krispy Kreme donuts this year. We've got fried pies, fried Twinkies, fried Oreos, shrimp kebabs. I mean, the list just goes on. And all that's going to be listed on the website, bbqontheriver.org.
So don't spell it out.
bbqontheriver.org. Yes.
For organization. Now, at the same time all this is going on, you've got Old Market Days.
Right.
So if you are downtown, all along 2nd Street is where they're set up.
2nd Street on the Quilt Museum side of 2nd Street. We'll have about probably 70 to 80 different booths for Old Market Days, and those are the non-food folks.
Right.
Sterling silver jewelry, some clothing, Avon, home interiors, some crafts, anything not food related. If they choose to participate, it falls under Old Market Days.
So you have to get past all that. Get your barbecue. You can sit on the lawn at the Quilt Museum. There will be tables set up. Go over there, sit on the lawn, enjoy your barbecue. Take it down to the riverfront. Watch all the boats.
There's family
down there.
entertainment at the riverfront all 3 days. There's some family entertainment in the Four Rivers Church Hospitality Tent, which is down on 2nd Street near the executive end. There's covered seating in there. And there's also some seating available at the main stage in front of the beer garden, where a lot of the live bands will be playing.
So let's talk about that entertainment on Thursday afternoon, 4:30. Get off work, head down that way, and Special D, the local group.
They're a local group, Western Kentucky. A couple of the guys I think are from the Paducah area. Some of them from the Bowling Green, Hopkinsville area, and they're an up and coming good rock band. I know they played several festivals, and they just got back from Montana, I believe, playing some festivals. They played some in the Atlanta, Georgia area, so they're a really good group of guys that are here to entertain us. Shortly after that, we've got Vegas All Stars, which is from Murray.
And even though both of them are rock and roll, they're still, you can tell just by the types of events that they've played, that they appeal to a wide audience.
Mass.
You'll know these songs.
Right.
You'll sing along with the songs.
Right.
It's not any headbanger kind of thing. I mean,
Right.
it's you'll know them. I mean, it's Americana.
Right, it is.
And Vegas All Stars, they played at your
They played at Paducah Main Street's fundraiser Bubble Cube.
Bubble Cube.
Yes, great event for them as well. Really get the crowd going. They'll get the crowd pumped up, so that'll be a lot of fun.
That will be fun. So that'll probably take us till, probably about 9:30 that night when you say, and then it's time to go home so we can start all over again the next day. So get to work, but come down for lunch, and once again, the Wilson Stage.
Wilson Stage, there'll be children's entertainment going on down there. We've got
now this is separate though than in front of the beer
from the beer garden.
Beer garden.
We've got some marionettes doing some shows down there. Mother Goose is making some appearances. There's a guy called Nitro Joe, the science guy, who does a lot of cool science stuff down there. Kids can go down and visit his booth, and they'll make some type of little science experiment that they can take home with them. There's a guy that does some magic. There's a gentleman, Eldon Rourke, I believe, is just a master entertainer, is what he's called, kind of family comedy and that sort of thing. So that's going on all Thursday afternoon, most of the day on Friday, and all day on Saturday.
Will there be barbecuers on that side of the river?
Probably.
I mean, of the floodwall.
On that side of the probably. I mean, we're just now laying out the event, and as the rest of the festival fills up, for the past 3 or 4 years, we have had contestants and vendors on that side of the floodwall.
So you've got music, then you've got the children's entertainment, but there are vendors going any road that's any way that's leading you down to the riverfront where the children's events are.
Right.
There's activity.
Right.
Total. Now, no traffic at all from 2nd?
No traffic at all from at least 3rd Street down to the riverfront
Okay.
on Kentucky, Jefferson, or Broadway.
Let's take it back to the main stage.
Okay.
There in front of the beer garden, where there also are tables so that the families or friends can gather outside of the beer garden. Then you've got Water Street and the murals, and right in the opening here's the main stage.
Right.
And we talked about on Thursday night where you've got Special D and Mer Vegas. What else have you got going on?
Friday night's a full slate of entertainment. We've got Partial Post, Lujitan and 61 South, the Cruisers. They're all local favorites, which will draw a huge crowd.
They really are, all
Yes,
3 of them.
Yes, and they've all given countless time to the barbecue on the river. I mean, they've given as well. On Saturday, we opened it up, have entertainment starting at 11 o'clock with Edna Lane Jones, which is a local couple that sings downtown after dinner a lot.
They have their own following.
Right, they do.
Really do.
They're giving us a couple of hours for barbecue on the river. 5 on Friday, which is another local band. Vintage Alley, which plays classic rock and roll. They've got some great following. Bon and the Mash, which is another up-and-coming young band from here in the West Kentucky area. And Justin Hatcher, who plays, honestly cannot think of the name of his band, but he's a local guy as well. Plays a little bit of rock and roll. I think it's entertainment that anybody would love to hear.
But while all of this is going on, you've got judges going around. Not only are there traveling judges that do like the whole hogs,
Right.
that I don't know if the public realizes sometimes that not only are they judged on their meat, but they're judged on their presentation. And many people dress up their whole hog, or the stage. It's almost like a stage around the hog. So
It is.
there are traveling judges for that part.
Right.
The other things that are being judged, ribs, the chopped pork, and the chickens, they're all brought to
And it's a
the
blind
tent.
judging. It's what we call a blind judging. They'll bring their tray of meat in there. There's a number or a letter on the bottom of that tray. Nobody sees that number or letter until it's taken to a judge's table and the auditor writes down that number or letter. All those scores are tabulated, and then the accountant, the Barbecue on the River accountant, brings those figures back to us, and it's at that point that we match up, okay, number C or letter C had the highest score in chicken, and then we'll go back and look at our list and see who letter C is.
So they're all brought like on the same trays.
Everybody's tray of chicken looks exactly the same.
No presentation is
No
allowed.
presentation
No
on that.
lettuce,
There's
no
lettuce,
flowers, no
parsley,
fruit, nothing.
No
Okay.
fluff, what we
It's
call
no
fluff at all.
Just plain old meat on a plate.
Right, and everybody has to bring us the same thing. If it's judging in the ribs, everybody brings us the same type of ribs.
Okay.
They may be serving a St. Louis style ribs or a short rib, but they're all giving us the same cut of rib. People may be selling half a chickens or cooking half a chickens or whole chickens. Everybody's giving us a whole chicken. So that's how everybody's judged on the same even playing field.
The judges, there are some who've done it for many years, some out of town, a lot of in town, a lot of celebrity judges. I think it's fun if you've ever done it, but it's also a big responsibility, and I think the judges take it very seriously.
They do. We try really hard to split the judges up. We try to use some folks that have been to judging schools. There's a couple of different judging schools across the United States that folks can get certified in. And some folks in our area have done that. We do try to get a few of those folks on there, or folks that are in the restaurant business that know food preparation. We try to get some of the local celebrities, whether it's newspaper personalities, TV personalities, radio personalities. We've got some folks, barbecue sponsors. It's a big deal, for some of these sponsors that are, financially contributing to Barbecue on the River to be able to offer that as either an employee incentive, highest sales you get to sponsor, or as a thank you to some of their clients as well. And so we really do try to spread it out across and make sure it's an even playing field for each category.
And the winners get big trophies?
Winners get trophies. There's a traveling trophy for the grand champion, and as well as cash. And they all each category gets a small trophy, based
Nothing
on
like
what,
a little cash in there, you
no,
know.
nothing like little cash. Grand champion's $1,000 cash
good.
prize.
That's good. We just didn't even talk about the media competition, and I love that part.
Right.
I think it's fun, and you find out in the office just exactly who has some talent, and then everybody else gets right in and helping. So there's a media cook-off.
Media cook-off is on Friday afternoon. The way we've styled it for the past couple of years, it's an Iron Chef event. The media cooking representatives will come to the judges' tent, I believe, at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. And each one of those folks is going to get a sealed cooler. Duct tape, they don't know what's in it. They'll get back to their cooking tent and they'll open it up and they'll have to prepare what's in that cooler. There'll be some meat, there'll be some veggies, there'll be some spices. And then they can bring their own spices to add to that.
But they're basically the pork and the chicken. Would there be ribs?
Last year it was a steak, actually. They were given beef to
okay.
cook. And then they
neat.
were given some vegetables from the farmer's market, some unique vegetables. You know, we try to throw them a little curveball there to see how quick they can think on their feet. And they basically have 3 to 4 hours to make the decision of what they're going to cook it, and then bring it back to the judges' tent. And that's just for folks to come down there and watch what they're doing. They cannot serve what they prepared to the public. It's just for judging process only, and the pride of saying they won the media cook-off.
Oh, I think it's great fun, and I love using the farmers market vegetables, pulling in those folks. Now, the market does keep going during barbecue.
It sure does.
There's a lane, a straight shot right into the farmers market, so go in there and get your fall vegetables, which are some of my favorites. Although, you know, I miss that Silver Queen corn and the tomatoes, but there's a lot of other good fall vegetables. So that'll be a lot of fun. It's always decorated, very fallish.
Right. They have a lot of fun during barbecue as well. They bring in a lot of the pumpkins, the hay, the mums, and I mean they really try to have that up and available for the public to buy. But also the barbecue contestants spend quite a bit of money with them decorating their booths as well.
Who are the folks that cook in the market on the first Saturdays?
The folks that cook are the master food volunteers with the Cooperative Extension Office.
They are so good, and I've really learned from them, and it's some eggplant dishes I would never have thought about fixing. So I hope that you'll take advantage of those folks and their knowledge as well in this festival. Well, it's going to be a really, really diversified, even though we've got barbecue as the core, and all those many foods and fun things that go along with barbecue and family outings. This is a family activity, all ages. It's a very fun weekend.
And what I don't want to leave without saying, it is a community charitable event. It's all about raising money for the 75 plus different charities that are there, represented through a barbecue team, through a booth of their own, and we raised $300,000 plus for the 75 different charities that are there. So I mean, I think that's something I'm very proud of. You know, to say that we're a catalyst for that kind of dollars to be raised.
Now, so everybody there is cooking for charity. A portion of all the proceeds is going to charity. Now, what about, let's back up here. People are cooking for charity. They come in. If they are a barbecuer, they order their meats through Paducah Main Street.
Through the official meat provider, which is Smith Poultries and Meats.
Okay. And that's the only one?
Yes.
Okay. They bring their own barbecue pits, or they build their pit right there, and they bring all of their wood or whatever they're using. Or they bring tents, tables and chairs. Most of them have an area where you can sit down and enjoy your meal.
I call it their little restaurant.
It is
make
like
their
a
own
mini
little
restaurant, and each has a different personality. And I love the decor of them. Everything from the fire engines to looking like a little country store to, oh gosh, we've had the old market house. We've had
a river boat in the past. We've had a tattoo parlor last year, which was quite unique. This year's theme for barbecue is football. The pigs wearing a football jersey and helmet. The chickens got the little cheerleading outfit on. So it'll be interesting to see what some of the contestants come up with this year in their booth building.
Oh, I think that's wide open.
Yes.
Especially now you're seeing that commercial with the mother and the father in the cheerleading outfit. Anyway, it'll be a lot of fun. And the season with football.
Right, it's right there. I mean, it was
best.
kind of a perfect match. I mean, it's right in the middle of football season.
Are there still spaces?
There are still spaces available. I mean,
for all the areas?
All the areas, I'd be more than happy if they want to give our office a call, 270-444-8649. I would be more than happy to talk with them about the possibilities, where their booth would probably be located and that sort of thing. And then Old Market Days as well, they can call that number and we'll get them signed up for Old Market Days.
I had a question here on the tip of my tongue. It left me. It'll come back. Throughout all of this, as you're walking around, will every booth have liquid? Will every booth have waters, soft drinks?
Some of them will. We've got 4 drink trailers that are kind of strategically located throughout the festival. You're a short distance from a soda. Most of all your barbecue contestants will sell soft drinks this year. The soft drink sponsor is Pepsi, so that'll be the drink that will be available during barbecue on the river. So I mean, you aren't too far away from some type of beverage, and there are some vendors, what we call vendors, that are selling the side items that might just be selling a beverage. I know there's one in particular that's going to be selling root beer floats. You know, that's what they're going to specialize in, or frozen cappuccinos. So you know, you can find those kind of beverages. Some people would be doing lemon shake-ups.
Well, or the Paducah Sun was doing the Sun Tea at one time.
So you aren't too far away from a cold beverage. You know, hope the weather breaks a little bit for us. I don't want 95 to 100 degree weather during barbecue, but you don't want it to be too cold either. So
when you approach this, if you don't have the map and you walk up, our booths set up similarly like they have been in the past.
There's
if you look
no
for
change.
a favorite of yours, that somebody that you really liked their barbecue, or you wanted the funnel cake, is it going to be in the same spot?
Pretty much in the same spot. We don't move contestants unless they ask to be moved to what's considered a better spot. But because people do know where to find their favorite barbecue contestant. They may have been there for 5 or 6 years, and they've kind of got that local, this is our space, come find us at this space. So pretty much people will be in the same spot.
But the barbecuers, the major barbecuers, are right there, kind of across from Whaler's Catch. Right on that corner is where the major barbecuers. Now, there are different types of barbecuers. There are the teams that travel and compete.
There's 2. There's backyard cookers and circuit cookers. Backyard folks, there's some teams that barbecue on the river is the only event they barbecue for. You know, or it might just be a church that they may barbecue, you know, on a Saturday night for a church function, but this is the only event they compete in. So those folks are considered backyard cookers. Then there's the folks that they may be a restaurant that's competing in barbecue on the river, they're considered a circuit. Or they may be a barbecue team that travels the barbecue competition circuit, entering contests, they're considered a circuit cooker. And there's also a couple of professional barbecuers in there who are used to feeding thousands of people, and they're there just to help us feed the crowds. They aren't competing, they're just there to help us feed the crowds.
Would that be like a chain restaurant?
Patty's is one of the
they are?
Patty's is one of the professionals in Smokin' Joe's Ribs.
Smokin' Joe's, yes.
They come up from Ohio, I believe is where they're from. They're some of our professionals that are there that are feeding the public.
Where are some of the teams coming from?
This year I've got teams coming from Florida.
Good.
Several from Tennessee, Ohio, then all around Western Kentucky. I mean, I don't think there's a county in Western Kentucky that doesn't have a barbecue team coming from it.
And I love it that the church is there with the handy wipes.
Right. Four Rivers Church has been involved with barbecue probably for 5 or 6 years. Started out in a 10 by 10 space. They just want to be there to serve the folks that are there. So they're there with covered seating. They've got about a 40-foot by 80-foot tent now. They've gone from a 10 by 10 to a 40 by 80-foot tent that they provide seating, some family entertainment. If you're down there with your kids and it's hot and you're looking for somewhere to occupy your smaller children, they always have TVs going with children's videos in there. That's just kind of a good kid pleaser. You know,
well,
you
we
can
don't want
always
someone
take
to
them down
think
there.
there's a tent, this is a revival. It's not
No,
that. This is
no.
a hospitality area doing a service with the community.
Right.
All right, so there's a couple of places we can look if we have questions or you're interested. We'll do the Main Street phone number again.
270-444-8649.
If you can't remember that, do that 1-800-PADUCAH. There's no charge. If you're listening to this, there's no charge to just pick up that phone and call 1-800-PADUCAH. The hardest part is figuring out the numbers. Or check bbqontheriver.org.
Yes.
If you forget that, once again, do the Paducah.travel. I know you've already got that bookmark, so go there and go to the calendar of events and just print it out. If there's a map available, we're going to get it on our website.
Okay.
And
I know the map will be inserted in the Paducah Sun on, I believe the Sunday is the 23rd.
the 23rd. So be watching for the
Be
Paducah
watching
Sun.
for that, and then the
pull that
week
out.
before or 2 weeks before that, we're actually inserting the Barbecue on the River poster into the Paducah Sun, and on
Good.
the back side of the poster will be an itinerary of main stage entertainment, Wilson stage entertainment,
Hours, everything.
everything will be on there. There will not be a map of that
Okay.
event, but the itinerary of what's going on will be inserted on that poster. So
Now-
that'll be a good handy tool
Oh, yes.
to hold on to.
If someone who's watching this knows that they're having a class reunion, they need to contact you.
Yes.
In the past, they've all been on the riverfront.
Right.
It's getting a little bit congested
It's
down
getting a
there.
little congested, and this is probably the last year we're going to be able to do that. It's just getting too congested. There's too much traffic coming in and out of that area. It's just not becoming a safe spot.
But we're going
events
to work
take
something
place.
good out
Yes,
for it.
there
'cause
will
the-
be another
yes,
alternative.
because the reunions are great, and we
Yes.
love having that as Barbecue on the River. My own class reunion
Right.
was at that time period, and it was just a fun time to bring your whole family together
Right.
and meet your friends. So do talk to David at Paducah Main Street, and let's work that out. Well, I'm really excited about it. I know that we'll all be doing our time down there. If anyone who's listening to this wants to volunteer, also give you a call.
Right.
Always can find place for a volunteer. This is a community charitable event. It takes everybody to put it on. Thank you to Main Street for doing so, to taking this under your wing and doing all the paperwork and taking care of everything that has to be done in the background.
It's a lot of hours getting up to it, but I really enjoy it. I think we all do.
And the city of Paducah, that has everything that is done to let this come together.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope that we'll see you down there with T-shirts. If someone wants a T-shirt, do they have to wait till that day?
They don't have to wait till that day. We will have some in our office available probably September 14th.
All right.
That's when T-shirts will probably be available, and they'll also be available at a booth
All right.
all during those 3 days as well.
Well, that's the hot item. We'll see you downtown, and make sure you go by Paducah Main Street and get that barbecue T-shirt with the football theme.
You got it.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the river.